The Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, was a pivotal event in Nigerian history. This conflict, which lasted from 1967 to 1970, was marked by deep ethnic tensions, political instability, and devastating violence. This narrative aims to recount the events leading up to the war, the key moments during the conflict, and the aftermath, in a manner that is engaging and accessible to all ages. The political landscape in Nigeria during the mid-1960s was fraught with instability and ethnic tensions. Following the January coup in 1966, Igbo people in the north were accused of mocking their host's loss of leaders. A notable example was Celestine Ukwu, a popular Igbo musician, who released a song titled, Unaba Aqua, Goats Are Crying, seemingly mocking the late Ahmadu Bello. These provocations were widespread and led to the promulgation of Decree 44 of 1966, banning such acts by the military government. Nigeria's first president, Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was away during the first coup, noted. Some Igbo elements, who were domiciled in northern Nigeria, taunted northerners by defaming their leaders through means of records or songs or pictures. They also published pamphlets and postcards, which displayed a peculiar representation of certain northerners, living or dead, in a manner likely to provoke disaffection. From June through October 1966, pogroms in the north resulted in the deaths of an estimated 10,000 to 30,000 Igbo, half of them children, causing more than 1 million to 2 million to flee to the eastern region. September 29, 1966, became known as Black Thursday, for its particularly gruesome violence. Ethnomusicologist Charles Keel, who visited Nigeria in 1966, recounted witnessing anti-Igbo and anti-Eastern conversations among various northern ethnic groups, which foreshadowed the massacres led by the Nigerian army. Murray Last, a professor of history, described the initial relief and subsequent anger in Zaria City following the first coup. He recounted how Igbo traders and journalists mocked their Hausa counterparts over the death of their leader, exacerbating ethnic tensions. The federal military government laid the groundwork for an economic blockade of the eastern region, which went into full effect in 1967. This blockade created a dire situation for the deluge of refugees in eastern Nigeria. Negotiations between Ojukwu, representing eastern Nigeria, and Gowon, representing the Nigerian federal military government, led to the Aburi Accord in Ghana. The parties agreed to a looser Nigerian federation, but Gowon delayed its announcement and eventually reneged on the agreement. On May 27, 1967, Gowon proclaimed the division of Nigeria into 12 states, carving the eastern region into 3 parts, Southeastern State, Rivers State, and East Central State. This move deprived the Igbos, concentrated in the East Central State, of control over most of the petroleum resources. The Nigerian government placed an embargo on all shipping to and from Biafra, including oil. The war officially began on July 6, 1967, with Nigerian federal troops advancing into Biafra. Biafran forces responded with their own offensive, crossing into the midwestern state of Nigeria. The United Kingdom supplied heavy weapons and ammunition to Nigeria to preserve the multi-ethnic country and protect their oil interests. The Biafran side received arms from France, despite official denials of sponsorship. The war saw numerous significant battles and strategic movements. The capture of Enugu, the declaration and fall of the Republic of Benin, and the fierce resistance at Nsukka were pivotal moments. The Nigerian army's offensive led to the capture of major cities, weakening Biafra's position. The blockade and subsequent war caused severe humanitarian crises, with widespread starvation and suffering in Biafra. Images of malnourished children and refugees brought international attention to the conflict. Despite their determination, Biafran forces were outmanned and outgunned. The Nigerian army, now a much larger and better equipped force, launched successful offensives that led to the fall of major Biafran territories. The war officially ended in January 1970 with Biafra's surrender. The aftermath of the war left deep scars on Nigeria, affecting its political, social, and economic landscape. In the years following the war, Nigeria has worked towards reconciliation and healing. The legacy of the Nigerian Civil War remains a significant chapter in the nation's history, highlighting the importance of unity and understanding. The Nigerian Civil War was a tragic period marked by deep ethnic divisions, political turmoil, and immense suffering. This account, designed to be accessible to all, aims to remember and reflect on this pivotal event in Nigerian history, emphasizing the need for peace and unity in the face of adversity.